Well, Noura Erakat is a human rights attorney and an associate professor at Rutgers University. She joins us now from Washington. So let's talk first of all about those hearings at the International Court of Justice. What did you make of what we heard there?
The hearings that we're hearing at the present moment have long been in the making and constitute an incremental legal strategy that's building on the 2004 legal advisory opinion from the ICJ that declared the route of Israel's apartheid wall illegal, that established that Palestinians have a right to self-determination, and that reaffirmed that Israel does not have the right to self-defense against territory that it occupies. What we are seeing now, about 20 years later, is the failure to adhere to that advisory opinion in the form of sanctions and accountability because of a firewall that has been built around Israel, erected by the United States, that has basically subject the future of Palestinian freedom and liberation to the negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians mediated by the United States, emblematic of a tremendous amount of power imbalance, and one that is holding the Palestinians captive forever in this open air prison and under domination. And so this attempt and this to go back to the International Court of Justice is an attempt to inject international law back into finding a solution and a pathway to Palestinian liberation, and one that seeks to circumvent the U.S.'s erection of a firewall that will protect Israel from any kind of accountability under international law and human rights norms.
And on the latest resolution from the UN calling for a ceasefire, which was vetoed by the United States, not surprisingly, what did you make of that? Because it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that the US would veto it.
It was not surprising, but we should still be indignant. The United States has basically made clear that this is its war against Palestinians. It's not only facilitating Israel's genocide, but that it is actively participating in it by ensuring that it continues and providing arms. This is day 137. 29,000 Palestinians have been killed. The International Court of Justice has said that there is a plausible genocide. There is a duty to prevent genocide under the Genocide Convention. We know that Palestinians now, 1 in 4 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, are starving. We understand that there is zero electricity that is being produced, that almost no hospitals are functioning, and those that are functioning are subject to attack and siege. When Israel says very clearly, when Netanyahu says very clearly that he does not care what The Hague says and what the ICJ says, we know that it is a rogue state. And rather than hold Israel to account, to prevent it from continuing, prevent it from executing its plans to depopulate the Gaza Strip by removing the Palestinians altogether under the liberal veneer of wanting to decimate Hamas, which it cannot achieve militarily, the United States is actively participating in enabling Israel to continue that. This is its third veto in 137 days against the will of the international community. Not only the exceptional invocation of Article 99 by Secretary General Antonio Guterres, not only by the 153 states that mobilized for ceasefire under a Uniting for Peace resolution, but even more recently by the number of states, including Canada, New Zealand, Spain, and others that have now added their voice to the chorus of calling for a permanent ceasefire. The U.S. is isolating itself politically at a great cost that will have horrible repercussions in this moment and for decades to come.
Appreciate your time, Noura Erakat, joining us there from Washington.